Welcome to The Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Nick Scarpino.
So Nintendo has done a great job this new generation for them of basically doing a total 180. The Switch has gotten off to a really strong start this year. It's sold out basically everywhere. Huge change from the Wii U. Nintendo stock is up in its newest game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, getting good reviews right out of the gate, even before the gate.
Where is the gate? Do they know where the gate is?
Well, the gate's ahead, but some people got out of the gate early, and they're all saying nice things.
Fantastic. I can never find that gate. It seems like Nintendo's low-powered but portable hybrid console has proven the skeptics wrong, at least so far. But we've got another big console coming out this year, and that will face its own challenges.
Yep. Microsoft's Project Scorpio promises to be the most powerful console ever, with 6 teraflops of performance power that have gotten lots and lots of hardware fans drooling. So, well ahead of the criticisms about power that the Switch has faced. Not going to be worrying about that at all. Folks who've gotten an early look at the console have been super impressed, and we'll learn a lot more about Scorpio very soon when Microsoft gives its E3 presentation, or maybe before that, but probably at E3.
So, with 2017 shaping up to be the tale of two consoles, is there anything that Microsoft can learn from Nintendo? Considering
it's like the new Oliver Twist.
Right, exactly. It's
instant
one that I'll
classic.
actually watch or read.
Right.
Considering the Switch's early success, to overcome some skepticism that they've seen from the gaming community in the last few years? Question mark.
Possibly.
Xbox and Nintendo are pretty different propositions, but there may still be some things Microsoft can take and twist into their own strategy.
Right. For one, it's shown that analysts aren't quite accurate yet with claiming that the era of console gaming is coming to an end because of mobile and PC and, you know, Doom and Sky is Falling. Switch sales so far prove people will absolutely still buy a console if they believe it offers a unique experience. Maybe not as many in years past, but the market definitely still there. We're a long ways away from the time when the Wii sold 100 million plus units and the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 each sold over 80 million. But still.
But the PlayStation 4 recently broke 50 million units sold, and it's tracking higher than even PS2 did. And the Switch has already sold 2.4 million units in its debut month of March, which has boosted Nintendo stock by almost 20% since the console was released.
Now, obviously, Scorpio and the Switch are two very different consoles with very different propositions. The Switch's selling points have been its portability and a unique form factor that's never been seen in a console. Meanwhile, Microsoft is hyping the Scorpio as a super high-end gaming rig that's a kind of a traditional console, but a really, really powerful one. Microsoft is almost positioning the Scorpio as a gaming PC that you can play on your couch, or the couch equivalent of PC gaming, or as close as you can get to it in a console.
Whether that will work or not remains to be seen, but this generation has shown that there's still an audience for consoles, even in this age of mobile and tablet gaming. What they haven't shown yet, and E3 is still coming, so that might change, is what Scorpio has to offer in terms of experiences that other consoles don't.
Right, Switch pushed the hybrid console handheld experience. Scorpio is so far pushing 4K gaming, but could possibly, I would like to see it do more to differentiate itself from what PS4 Pro is doing and show us what the extra power is going to make possible that can't be replicated anywhere else. That's what the Switch did really, really well, was say, you're not going to get this on any other console. And PS4 Pro, admittedly, not running the teraflops that Microsoft's console is going to run. Now it's down on the flop front, but still very, very impressive, and it's near enough 4K that a lot of people will probably weigh the two and wonder why they should lean in the direction of Microsoft when Sony has been dominating this generation so far.
Another thing it's got going for it is Scorpio, which is very close to Scarpino, which is my personal favorite last name. Another thing Microsoft could learn from Nintendo is the power of hype. Nintendo officially announced the Switch in a video trailer in October of last year. That trailer became Nintendo of America's most viewed video on YouTube within 24 hours, and it was the top trending video on YouTube for about a day, which is exactly what you want when you're unveiling a new console.
Then Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aimé showed off the Switch on The Tonight Show. We got to see Jimmy Fallon playing a demo of Breath of the Wild while Shigeru Miyamoto played guitar with the Roots. Nintendo followed all that with a live-streamed press event earlier this year where they showed off the Switch and a bunch of its games, and all of those steps served to get the Switch in front of as many eyeballs as possible, both online, but also, and this is a key distinction for Nintendo, through traditional media like television that's going to reach a mainstream audience.
Right. This is a strength that Nintendo's really nailed. The getting in front of the mainstream audience. You'd think a company like Microsoft that's accustomed to selling Windows and Office to a wide audience would be an ace at the mainstream marketing, but that's not the case here.
Yeah, so far the hype machine for Scorpio has consisted of an exclusive tech reveal to Digital Foundry, and while that really got people talking, especially the hardware nuts, Microsoft still has a long way to go to introduce the Scorpio to a larger audience. They are positioning it as a premium console for a demanding, high-end, hardware-having segment of gamers, but so far they're coming at it almost from the opposite direction. They're appealing to core gamers and hoping that the trickle-down effect from getting those hardcore hardware fans excited will then infect others with excitement, and so on and so forth.
And that could work. Sony's been a pretty good example of that, but they still seem to be missing the broad angle with Scorpio, which could hurt adoptions.
Right, and also maybe the most important lesson for Microsoft to take away is that games really do matter when selling a console, and it doesn't have to be 50 games of every flavor to do the job if you've got a real standout quality title that people will care about. It's something that they really ought to have learned, and they probably did learn this at some point, but maybe forgot it along the way when Halo ran away with everyone's hearts. It really helped put the original Xbox on the map, but they've been having trouble getting that particular lightning to strike twice.
The Switch has definitely been helped by the launch of one of the best reviewed games of all time, Zelda Breath of the Wild, of course, which I'm still playing.
In case you were wondering what game that might be.
In case you've been living under a rock for a while. And they're trying to keep that momentum going with the upcoming deluxe version of Mario Kart 8, which is already getting some really, really good reviews. It's currently got a 94% on Metacritic, with lots of critics calling it the definitive version of the racing franchise.
And also, Greg Miller won't shut up about how he has it.
Well, Greg Miller's going to get beat when I come home because I am the reigning Nintendo World Champion.
Well, I guess. All right, we'll see. We'll see. The other thing, exclusives obviously help sell your console because it's the only place where players can try them out and get that experience. And while Xbox, or, well, really anyone else for that matter, probably can't quite match Nintendo's legendary collection of IPs, Microsoft does have some exclusives that have been bestsellers in the past, like Halo, obviously, Forza, Gears of War, but lately the cupboard seemed a little bare, especially after the much anticipated Scalebound was canceled. Gears of War isn't selling the way it used to. Halo's not selling the way it used to. Forza Horizon 3 though, it's a good one. So good job on that one, Microsoft, but not everyone is into racing games. So.
Right. Sunset Overdrive was fun. I didn't play it, but I heard it was fun. It was a fun, punky overworld exclusive that got really good reviews, but didn't seem to garner either the attention or investment from the Xbox audience.
Well, maybe if Nick Scarpino had played it, everyone would have got on board.
I blame myself 110% on that. But that could be a property that they do well to build on. Curious if there are any franchises that you guys would like to see more of that are being neglected too, so post in the comments.
Crimson Skies. Now, some people say that in this era of multi-platform games, exclusives don't matter anymore. That typically comes from people who have only one console or another, and they don't want the other ones to have exclusives that they then don't have access to. But the Switch has shown that if the exclusive is good enough, it will sell a console. And it can take as few as one if it's good enough. And if Microsoft wants to move some Scorpios, it's gonna need some games to do it. And some of those are gonna need to be exclusives, and they're gonna need to be good exclusives.
A final issue is price. The Switch retails for $300 without any games, and it's safe to say that the Project Scorpio will cost more.
Probably significantly more, maybe double.
Given those teraflops, I wouldn't be surprised, but how much is still unknown. Microsoft has made it clear that Project Scorpio will be a high-end console, and it will probably be priced as such. GameSpot polled its staff members on how much the console should cost, and the answer ranged from $400 to $500. Interestingly, nobody went up to $600.
I would predict up to $600. If they do any more than that, I think they're in big trouble.
$600 buys you a lot of sugar-free Red Bulls. But then again, just ask PlayStation 3 how well that price point worked out, and that was more than 10 years ago. The Xbox One S is currently selling for $249, and the PS Pro is $399. Digital Foundry speculates that the Scorpio will sell for $499. Like so much else with Scorpio, we'll have to wait and see. But it is clear that the price is a big factor on whether or not the gamers will take the plunge with the new console.
So that's some of our thoughts for things that Microsoft could learn from the launch of Nintendo Switch and what Nintendo has done right to really turn it around for themselves this generation. But what do you guys think that Xbox Scorpio needs to do to be a success? Let us know in the comments.
And for all of your gaming news, including which consoles are up and which are down, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Know.
We'll have charts.
No matter how many flops the Scorpio has, there will never be a bigger flop than the Nintendo Wii U.
GameCube was.
No! You do not talk ill about GameCube.
I love the
Have you played
GameCube.
Luigi's Mansion?
Yes. I love the GameCube. That doesn't mean it's sold great.